Welcome back, everybody, to BST. It's a great day in the beautiful country of the United States of America because we have won gold for the first time in 46 years. It's been a long time coming. Been really close, and it's just so awesome when this is. I mean, I know Four Nations last year got a lot of publicity. Yeah, and I know a lot of people in America were really into that one. This was huge. You saw bars and governors saying there's no I don't even know what they call it, but
restrictions on
alcohol, so the bars could open up and people. I mean, there were multiple watch parties they showed on the broadcast. Just what a day! What a day for American hockey. And it's kind of just to cap really a decade of just building up the program to this moment right here where you beat Canada. And we'll get to the game in a second, but just what a moment. I mean, it's going to be something that, like the 1980 Miracle team has talked about for this long.
Yeah.
This is going to be talked about for that long.
Well, I was going to say, pointing out your outfit here. I mean, I bought this in Salt Lake City in 2002 during the Olympics.
Yep, and they lost that year to Canada.
And they did.
So,
yeah, I mean, and that was, I think the mood back then was like, hey, the U.S. made the gold medal game. Awesome.
Yeah.
Shit, they're playing Canada. Oh, well, at least we got there.
Yeah.
And it was a 5-2 rout, by Canada. And then, of course, after that, I mean, this was the first, or I guess 2010, right? After 2002, didn't follow it up well in 2006, but neither did Canada. That was another Italy Olympics, but I can't remember where. Not Milan Cortina, but it was somewhere, and it was a bad tournament. I just remember that. And then obviously 2010. At that time, I thought it was the best U.S. team, and it probably was at that time the best assembly of U.S. players. Patrick Kane, a lot of great players, and they fall short to Canada again in overtime. It's kind of interesting that the last time they faced in a gold medal game, it went to overtime with Canada winning it on Crosby's goal and role reversal this time. But it seems like these two teams are destined to make it to overtime. Not end in regulation.
Well, when it's just so close, it's there are very few goals.
Let's face it, it lived up to the hype.
Oh, yeah.
This game lived up to the hype. We'll go through the details that you want to talk about, but the real winner, besides USA Hockey, was just hockey in general.
Well, yeah.
In this game. That was the real winner 100%. Of this game.
And it was just hockey. I feel like I'm so lucky as a fan because just really getting into hockey, just the hockey that we've seen over since 2020 and really since I've started really paying attention in probably 2023, where it's just we've seen back-to-back Stanley Cup finals that were really good. Even though Florida 1-6 last year and beat Edmonton really handily in that game, I thought that series was close throughout.
Yep.
And then we saw the year before it go to 7 with Florida and Edmonton.
Oh,
and the playoffs have just been phenomenal. And then we saw Four Nations, and then we're getting the return of NHL players in the Olympics. This is just a great time to be a hockey fan, and it's such an awesome sport, and it's a sport that more people should be getting into. And your hope now, if you're the United States with this kind of a game, is this inspires a generation.
Yeah.
Because there is no doubt that over the next couple of years, Canada has a lot more top-end talent coming up.
They do.
You look at who they left. Matthew Schaefer is talked about like the Cale Makars of the world,
Connor Bedard,
Quinn Hughes of the world, Connor Bedard. I mean, people forget Connor Bedard, because Celebrini's kind of stolen the show, but Connor Bedard was supposed to be generational.
He's gotten hurt recently, right? I think that's what really impacted it.
Before he really got hurt, he was neck and neck with Bedard or Celebrini in terms of points.
Celebrini's left him now.
Yeah, and so I mean, in terms of talent coming up, and I'm not going to act like the U.S. doesn't have supreme talent as well. They're still going to be a good team, but in terms of generational, like what we saw with McDavid, McKinnon, Celebrini, McCarr. Like, I don't think there's anybody on the U.S. who really touches the talent level of those guys. And I'm not sure that exists in the pipeline either. And you look at Canada, like you got Gavin McKenna, who's coming up, who just had, I believe, 8 points the other day at
God.
Penn State.
Yeah.
So, like, you look at like him, you look at Schaefer, Bedard. Celebrini is 19 years old. He's just now in his first Olympics. He's at least has 3 or 4 of these left. So,
You'd hope.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when I look at it, it's like this is a huge game. Like the United States needed this.
Well,
They really
this now made the USA relevant in the rivalry because we're calling it a rivalry, and it's simply because we share a border, right? Like USA Canada, rivalry. It really hasn't been much of a rivalry from the USA side for sure, and to Canada. I think Canada's kind of like, what rivalry? You haven't beat us when it matters. You beat us in a round robin in the Four Nations exhibition tournament, right? And then when it came down to winning the whole thing, Canada won the whole thing. And so I think Canada's view was like, hey, look, we own
really
hockey.
rivalry.
And they probably still feel like they own hockey a little bit, but what this win was, this was important. Not only because you beat Canada, but eventually Russia's getting back in the game at some point. And Russia's team, Russia's athletes, their skill players are right up there. I'm not saying they're better than Canadian
They're definitely
players.
third.
Or they're third. They're third. They're
strong.
close. They're
I
a
would
close
say
third.
like they're a tick probably better than Finland just because of their goaltending. Like they have Shesterkin and I'm blanking on the Islanders goalie, but he's been probably the best goalie in hockey this year. Like they're a really good team as well. So
really
once they're in this thing, like it's just huge. I mean, this is like the golden era team of USA hockey. Just looking at all the players that have gone through the U.S. National Development Program and come to this point, like all of these guys. And I mean, so many of them talked about how they played with each other like for years in the program. So just to see it all come together, it's huge. But let's get to this game because I think last year I thought the U.S. like I'm just gonna be honest. The U.S. did not deserve to be in this game whatsoever. Like I shouldn't say deserve to be in this game. They shouldn't have deserved to even be in overtime. I should say like they didn't. They didn't deserve to be in a close game, honestly. I thought the first period was pretty good. Like honestly, from puck drop, like that first shift, they hemmed the Canadians in.
Oh yeah,
didn't really let them get a ton going. And I thought after one, I'm like, okay, this is good. This is going to be highly contested. But if we're being honest, Canada dominated the second period and they dominated the third period. And at the end of the day, it came down to having the best goaltender on planet Earth, in Connor Hellebuck, who had 40 saves.
Was it 40 saves?
Yep, 40 for 41, and apparently he had an assist. I don't know.
Maybe it's on the overtime goal.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I mean, and he's the first player ever to do that, have 40 plus assist or 40 plus saves and an assist
in
the Olympics. Just a phenomenal. I mean, I can't
honestly,
I can't even like put into words how good he was. Like it was such a clinic of goaltending. Like he was so ahead of what the Canadians were doing. Like just like they are so good with their seam passes, and they were able to just like pass it across, and it just felt like he was like one with the puck. Like he was just locked in on the puck and moving with the puck. I mean, it was so impressive.
He's such a big-bodied goalie, huge, which helps, but his positioning was just on. McCarr beat him on that one shot from the wing, in the second period to even it up, which is a perfectly placed puck. But that's kind of what it takes against Hellebuck, is perfectly placed. But the Canadians really. They dominated second and third period. I mean, they dominated, I can't say even 2/3 of the game because it was really more than that. 3/4 of the game. Outside of that first 10 minutes, in the first period. It felt like the Canadians just had the pressure. I mean, Hellebuck, he stopped a breakaway from McDavid and from Celebrini. And I think it's the way he was playing, it kind of got in their heads a little bit. Like they needed to make an extra move, and that extra move cost them a good opportunity to shoot the puck. But they were putting pucks on him. Quite frankly, Hellebuck's the reason the Canadians didn't win 4-1.
Easily.
Just because it could have easily been there. And you go to overtime, it's different. It's 20 minutes of 3-on-3. You're taking 4 guys off the ice. The what do they call them? The natural old school fans, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? I can't think of
the
it.
word
I get on this
either.
thing and I can't think of words, but the hockey, the traditionalist hockey fan is saying, "Come on, man, 5-on-5, 20 minutes, sudden death. Let's just keep it rolling. Extra period." But honestly, everybody knew the rules coming in 3-on-3. You get to that situation, anything can happen. So much space. It doesn't take much, and that really is what gave the USA a chance. I think they skate 5-on-5 in overtime.
I think they lose.
I think they lose the game. But the 3-on-3 overtime is what gave them their window, and that's the rules of the game. And USA came out on top.
Mm-hmm. And I saw this meme, and it was like Hellebuck today, and it was that Walrus commercial, the Geico Walrus commercial, where the Walrus is in goal, and nothing's getting legitimately a brick wall. And you look at the Canadian chances, the Hellebuck save, the paddle save.
God,
that will go down
Taves.
in history.
On Taves,
I mean, that is up there with any save in hockey history. The photo of that's the overhead shot needs to be framed in the Hockey Hall of Fame. I mean, that is as good of a chance as you will ever get as a hockey player for Taves. And for Hellebuck to have the wherewithal to reach his paddle back and get his stick on the puck is just insane. But also just the McKinnon miss at the doorstep. I mean, it's a horrible turnover by the United States, but then I don't even know who it was in the middle, but just puts it right on his tape.
Was it on his tape? I never saw a replay. Did he get it off the heel or on the tape? Oh,
and I mean,
just misses, hits the side of the cage.
You got to think 999 times out of 1,000.
He buries that. He buries
easily.
that. Yep.
And it's just a wide open net, and he misses it. And I know we were just like, "Oh my God, he scored!" And he missed it.
I know. I was shocked. I was like, "Son of a bitch!" And then he missed. I was like, he missed. It was just insane.
He could have just slid it in. Too.
Even the paddle save on Taves, I thought it went in.
Me too.
And I was like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?"
And I'm watching. I watched. I loved hearing all the Canadian Tuesday. I was watching several different live streams of Canadian fans, and every single one of them just started screaming goal on the Taves one.
Oh,
and you're like, how did they not score there? And then, like you were saying earlier, 2 breakaways from Celebrini and McDavid, both just stonewalled by Hellebuck, no chance. And then the other one, honestly, not as much Hellebuck, but that McAvoy save, where it hits him in the chest, that saved the goal as well. So it's the Canadians really played a perfect game in terms of getting chances. I thought they just they hemmed in the United States, and I was getting so annoyed of the stupid dump and chase game.
Oh, man.
And icing the puck constantly. It was ridiculous, and it was so annoying because it's you guys got to try to possess it. I almost wanted them more to just kind of cycle back and just get into their own zone with the puck a little bit and try to just make those seam passes, because I felt like they were having more success doing that than trying to dump and chase. It just wasn't working. I honestly, going into this game, I didn't necessarily think that Canada would play this type of game. I think it did kind of showcase, the
the big talent that they have playing together. That they, because throughout the tournament, it seemed like the deeper lines weren't really showing up, and it seemed like no matter who they were rolling out there, they were moving the puck and they were kind of controlling play. I was surprised because without Crosby, I mean, Crosby's 38, but he's still one of the greatest players in the world. And the leadership that he brings, and I mean, you put him out there. I mean, that's a significant threat off the ice, and shuffling of the lines a little bit, and now without having Morrissey on defense, I felt like without having Morrissey as like additional defensive rotator, and Crosby, Canada wasn't going to really be controlling play. I really didn't think they would be, and so I was a little shocked at that they were able to kind of do that. But I think that kind of just speaks for the talent that Canada really has.
Honestly, to get there, like Cooper was playing McKinnon, McDavid, and Celebrini like huge minutes.
Yeah.
Like they really, like their depth had not really shown up in the tournament.
And then he rolled it completely different in this game.
And then like the first period he stuck them together, but in the second he split them apart and they started to work again.
Oh yeah.
And the depth started moving. But early on, Boldy gets a goal scoring going. Just an insane individual effort by Boldy. I mean, and I think this is where, like I told you earlier, is this the worst game by a collection of Avs players ever, or a collection of team players ever? No, but like, hear me out.
Okay.
So Taves and Makar get dog walked by Boldy.
Yeah.
He flips it right in between two of them. That is brutal. McKinnon misses the net.
It's a crazy bouncing puck on that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I get that. And, I mean, what an individual effort by Boldy. He slides it past Bennington. And then McKinnon misses the net. And then on the play that wins the game for the United States, Makar doesn't pinch or doesn't successfully pinch.
Yeah.
And Hughes gets the puck past him. And then McKinnon just gets bullied by Werenski down low. Like, I mean, what are you doing, McKinnon? Like, that is the worst, like, he just got pushed right out of the way, and it leads to the game-winning goal. So, I mean, not a good, I mean, at least for Brock Nelson, good day for that.
Yeah.
But the rest that might, do you think they'll create as an Avs fan, you're a little bit worried they'll create a divide in the locker room?
No. I mean, I don't think so. I think they come back and it's just like, hey, it's
on to the Stanley Cup.
They're all teammates at the end of the day. They all, there's a lot of, the Kachucks, I mean, they talk a big game on hatred, but I think there is a lot of respect amongst the talent and the players. A lot of that's just part of the Kachucks game to, really, create this rift and this hatred, and it's just more gamesmanship. I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of respect between the two teams. Anybody who's seeing Jack Hughes in his post game, he gave that respect, both ways. Obviously, he has some teammates on Canada, and he had some teammates on some of the other countries. I mean, they all did, right? So. Yeah, I don't think it creates any kind of problem.
I don't think so.
No, and honestly, I mean, it's kind of like it's that cliche. I mean, that's hockey. It's why you play the game. Bounces go. Sometimes the bounce goes your way, sometimes it doesn't, and you can't always explain why. And maybe that just meant that U.S. was meant to win the game.
Well, I think McKinnon literally said in his post game, he's like, "I just felt like we weren't meant to win this game."
I mean, that's, there's a lot of that, and obviously USA did their part to make them feel that way. Hellebuck certainly did that, but yeah, sometimes you just can't really explain it. Sometimes sometimes a team gets all the bounces, sometimes they don't. And sometimes the best players in the world miss wide open nets, and the best defensemen kind of don't pinch at the right moment, It just happens. It's a team sport. The fact is, if any Canadians are blaming, McKinnon and Makar and McDavid for being out on the ice for that OT loss, Canada had their chances. It's not like they dominated that game. They could have won it, like we said, 4-1. They could have 3 goals in the third period that just didn't go in the net. And they had their chances. It just didn't
I
happen.
mean, it is a completely different game, but like you'd love to see McDavid on that back check go towards the open guy. He went
Yeah.
straight. I honestly in that OT, I just felt like McDavid was playing hero ball. Like he drove to the net by himself, and it's like I don't know, man.
Is that the one he fanned on?
Yeah.
Then he fanned on the puck?
Yeah, and then it
Yeah.
led to the breakout, and it's
And
like
Binnington has this great save.
yep.
Give credit to Binnington.
On
I mean,
Hughes. Yeah.
otherwise it's over earlier. So,
But it's just like McDavid, like you have two of the best players in the world right beside you. Like set up a cycle or something, and because I mean it's just you cannot be turning over the puck like that and setting up an odd man rush. So I mean that was bad. But yeah, it was a great game. I'm trying to look, but if we talk about honestly, like if we're just looking at the team as a whole. And it's like how many legacies were somewhat saved in this game because you had Hellebuck, who has 3 Vezinas, who has a Hart Trophy,
Yep.
now has a gold medal. I mean, he firmly gets rid of the can't win in big games thing. And honestly, at this point, I'm starting to hop on the bandwagon that it's more of a Winnipeg thing, and Winnipeg can't win in big games. And
although a lot of those have been some kind of, I guess you'd have to go look at those performances where he's let in 4 or 5 goals. If it's more no defensive help, or
the only one that the only series that I remember being really bad was the Avs series. Like that was bad. Honestly, last year I didn't think he was that bad in the playoffs. And I think it's maybe more of just a Winnipeg thing. So like Hellebuck, I mean, I love Hellebuck for life. Definitely one of my favorite players now. So I mean, he was just absolutely awesome. Nothing else you can say about Hellebuck and his performance. Legendary. But then like Matthews captaining a gold medal winning team. I saw Matthews had a press conference with the Hughes brothers, and like they were calling out the Toronto media, telling them it's like, yeah, your guy's a winner for us, and it's like pretty funny because the Toronto media does get after Matthews pretty hard for not delivering a Stanley Cup there to this point, but also it's kind of like maybe that's also just a Toronto problem, and it's almost like Matthews has kind of just transitioned his game because I mean I'm that opportunity on the doorstep, like you got to shoot the puck, man.
Yeah,
but I mean his defensive game was awesome. And honestly, like I think he's super underrated in that aspect. Like people don't really give him his flowers there. So I mean, his legacy now as a gold medal winner, he's going to be one of the top goal scorers of all time when it's all said and done. His legacy, and then just Jack Hughes with the golden goal. I mean, for years they're going to talk about Jack Hughes having the golden goal in the Olympics. It's just going to be talked about forever. And I mean, if you look at him as well, he's had a tough like 2-3 years with injuries. I mean, this year he cut his hand at a restaurant or something, was out for a while. He's had shoulder injuries, and if you look back to last year at the Four Nations, like he was horrific.
Yeah,
and like people were like so mad, and it's like, why is this guy on the team? He's not tough enough. And I mean, he gets high sticked right in the face, loses a tooth.
Yep.
Completely chipped, and he's bleeding, and then he gets a game winner. And he was awesome the entire tournament. Like he was unbelievable.
He played well.
Same with his brother. Like so, I mean, for Jack Hughes, like this is just a huge moment to show that he can perform best on the biggest stage. Another guy who's just on a sucky team. There's a lot of guys on Team USA that are just like stuck in purgatory.
Yeah, I feel like
teams.
If I were to go down the list of Team USA, because it sure felt like when you looked at Team Canada, there was a lot more Stanley Cup winners.
Yeah.
On that team, looking at
Lightning.
Yeah, looking at U.S., you got Boldy on Minnesota. I mean, they're relevant.
Really
I mean, Eichel won a cup, Gensel won a cup. Jack Hughes is not. Keller has not. Larkin, I don't believe has. Matthews has not. JT Miller, I don't think he has. Brock Nelson, I don't think he has. Tage Thompson hasn't. Matthew Tkachuk has. Brady Tkachuk hasn't. Trocheck, Don't believe he has. Faber, Hannafin, no, Quinn Hughes, McAvoy. I think he's played for one, didn't he? But I don't know that they won
I don't
one.
think they won it. No,
I don't think they won. He was in the final. Sanderson, Slavin, Werenski. I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, Hellebuck. Nope. I mean, there's a lot of these guys on these teams. These Buffalo Sabres. You've got the New Jersey Devils. You've got the Wild. You got the Golden Knights. You got the Red Wings. You got the Mammoth. I mean, so there's a lot of them that I don't know if or when they'll win a cup.
Me neither.
So certainly Hellebuck, I don't believe I don't think he's gonna do it until he leaves Winnipeg.
And I mean, like, I can't remember who was talking about it, but like, there's only like, I can't remember the exact count, but it's like only like 50 or so U.S. players to ever win gold. I mean, there's only 3 teams who have ever done it. So like, they join elite company, and definitely like sets them apart. And it's just awesome that they were a part of this team. And another thing too, like, this was 46 years to the day of the Miracle game, which is just crazy that's the coincidence. February 2nd, 1980, February 22nd, 2026. But yeah, I don't know. I wish we could have like a Canadian on here to have like a different perspective, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how you sleep at night.
Well, I mean, I think the U.S. I think U.S. can understand a little bit what it feels like, because the expectations that Canada has to win gold are what the U.S. has to win basketball in the Summer Olympics. It's like basketball's our sport, right? I mean, they haven't put baseball in there. We've lost, though.
We won't anymore.
Well, we may not, but I'll tell you, though. I mean, if you go look at that, what was it, 2004? The 2004 team, when they went down into, I think that was Athens. I mean, that had LeBron. That had a lot of guys on that team that were, Carmelo Anthony. I mean, you go look at that roster and you're like, okay, it didn't have Kobe. It didn't have, some of the superstars, but it had good enough players to win that tournament. And we took bronze, and that was an embarrassment. That's what led to the Redeem team in 2008. It was like, okay, all business. It's like players that went in 04, they weren't locked in. They weren't prepared. They felt like they could just go in and win. Mm-hmm. No big deal. We're the best ever. We make, millions of dollars. And they went in and got upset. And it was like, I mean, that's where Kobe led that Redeem team back. Like, nope, this ain't happening again. And I remember 08, it was tough to win gold. They weren't killing people. It wasn't Dream Team 92, where the world just hardly was playing basketball. The world's caught up a bit in that, So I think that's a bit of what Canada's feeling right now.
But also, just like in this game, like,
it hurts a lot more because
I don't even know how McKinnon sleeps at night.
Yeah, there's huge disappointment because of what could have been and what they feel should have been, probably. Just because, I mean, how many times do we ever see these guys miss like that?
Never.
I mean, McKinnon missing like that is just as shocking as if it were McDavid there. Mm-hmm. If it's anyone else on that team, if it's Celebrini, you're like, oh, he's young. Oh, the nerves got to him. But this is McKinnon, man.
Well, McKinnon's a McDavid merchant, so. I'm just kidding. I have seen that being passed around.
He's a McDavid merchant?
Yeah.
Anyone that plays with McDavid becomes a merchant of McDavid. That's just the reality. True. I mean, I don't know that McKinnon's ever really been that much of a facilitator.
Well, McKinnon was a Rantanen merchant, and then now he's a Natchez.
I think Rantanen was a McKinnon merchant, dude. I believe that's exactly what you kept saying about Rantanen, is that he is a McKinnon merchant.
I'm just taking this chance to dog on Nathan McKinnon while he's down. We got to lower the morale for the next Olympics.
Hey, I mean, I grew up long-time Avalanche fan. Joe Sakic, my favorite player. Hometown, though, in Utah, getting the Mammoth. I really felt like, I felt over time my allegiance has been shifting back to my hometown. Had I grown up with Utah having a hockey team, I would have never cheered for Colorado.
Yeah.
It would have always been Utah. So, I find an allegiance to the home team. I'll always have a little special place for Colorado. I'll always like them. I won't ever hate them, but I just need some of those players to come over to the Mammoth, But
Never.
but it'll
I'd be
never
shocked.
happen. No, it would never happen. But yeah, kick McKinnon while he's down.
I do want to talk about, like, I know roster changes are always kind of like frowned upon. Like, it's like, well, I mean, Canada was so close. It's like you really say they should have made roster changes, but I did think, like, Canada throughout the tournament, like we were saying, didn't have, like, there was always something missing on the lines. It didn't feel like they were totally cohesive. It felt like it was a lot of just the top end doing their thing, and it worked because, I mean, you have the 3 of the 4 best players, like, I think some of the best players on the planet. But, like, it felt like they constructed, I don't know. To me, it's like keeping the Tampa guys on there, bringing Sam Bennett in. Like, Sam Bennett was just a net negative throughout the tournament. To me, like, taking penalties, horrible penalties.
I'm sure there were some better athlete or some better hockey players.
And like Marchand, like Marchand's
I don't know that Marchand,
but he was. I don't know. It just felt like he
I'll tell you,
have his stuff.
Tom Wilson was a difference maker for them. Wilson was a key.
He laid on Larkin.
Wilson was a key addition. Wilson was an important addition, especially, and he made himself known in this game.
Yeah,
and I agree. I think Bennett and Marchand, I feel like, are a little bit. Say what you will about Crosby being 38. Crosby at 38 is still way better than Marchand and Bennett.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there probably was some better Canadian talent. I don't know enough about them to really know who should have been on there if they shuffle them off.
On the back end, it just felt like they didn't. I thought the U.S. was just so much better in terms of, like, puck moving defensemen on the back end. Like, I know Bouchard is, like, such a polarizing figure among fans, but, like,
He's played in big games, man. He's played in big games. He's performed in big games.
Not once during, like, the Oilers championship runs to the finals. Like, have I been like, yeah, that game's on Bouchard? Honestly,
no.
Like, I feel like he's always just shown up.
Yeah.
Maybe during the regular season he might not play the best defense and he'll get beat. He'll over pursue for the offense, but, like, I mean, that guy's had so many big goals, so many points. Like,
yeah. Who's the crop of younger defensive players? Because they had Drew Doughty. He's on the tail end of his career.
Some people are like, he should just brought Schaefer. Like, that guy is such a good skater, and what he's doing already as an 18-year-old, like, you probably should have brought him. Like, Bouchard for sure, I feel like should have been brought. Instead of, like, Parayko, he's a good, like, defensive guy, but I don't know. Like, he's just kind of slow back there.
Yeah.
And Doughty for sure. It's like, I don't know. It felt like they just brought some older guys that probably should have went to a youth movement more. And like, some of the Tampa guys, like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of, I mean, who was even on there? Sorelli. Like, I'm not a huge fan of him coming. It just felt like there's a lot of guys that just didn't even, like, why is Sandheim on this team? Like, I'm looking at this lineup. Like, Bo Horvat, a few big time draws, but, like, Hagel, I didn't really notice at all. Seth Jarvis, not really. Reinhart, not really. Like, I mean, even Mark Stone, like,
Stone
early on a little bit, but nothing. It's just like, I don't know. I felt like there were definitely players that just didn't show up on Canada, and they got through the tournament because of their top end talent. And I feel like there were definitely some moves where, like, if they changed that, they probably would have made it even easier. Because, I mean, like, it was a battle through adversity for the Canadians to get here, because I mean, Czechia almost beat them, and they almost lose to Finland. Like, they're down in both of those games to get here, and I just think the U.S. was good enough, and they just had the best goalie in the world. But then for the U.S., like, I think where Canada can look at the U.S., like, I just thought the U.S. was more cohesive as a unit, and I don't know. It felt like also with Canada, they just didn't really have like the U.S. It looked like they tried to build a complete roster, and I know Bill Guerin got so much crap for bringing on Trocheck and Miller. Like they're like, what are you doing? Like, are you guys stupid? Why would you bring these two guys on here? But like those two, like, and we haven't even talked about this yet. Canada had a 43% power play coming into this, and the United States has a 100% penalty kill.
Yeah.
It stays 100%.
Yeah.
And they had to kill off a 5-on-3 and a penalty late in the game. Like, nothing more can be said about the United States penalty kill. It is the greatest penalty kill of all time.
Well, it was Hellebuck. Hellebuck.
No, I don't even think it was Hellebuck.
Uh-huh.
No. Not one.
He made the saves.
Yeah, like, but none of them were like crazy saves. I thought the defense was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know it's exciting, but I don't know that we can label it greatest of all time.
How? It's in a best-on-best tournament. They had 100%.
Okay.
That's never happened.
That's fine. Call it that then.
What?
I don't know. It's just why
What?
does it need a label? It doesn't even need a label. It just
Why
they
not?
played really well.
They played perfect. They literally did not allow a penalty power play goal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no one scored a power play goal in this game and
No.
Canada had to kill off a 4-minute minor penalty too. So
Whose side are you on?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, it was
It's the greatest penalty kill of all time.
Yeah, but also it's you can't really label it that when not everybody played all the same teams. Do you know what I mean? Like you play a round robin, you play different teams. So it's like, yeah, they did really good. They were a perfect penalty kill, but were they all playing the same teams? No. So
yeah, but it doesn't
even
matter.
if Canada did that, I wouldn't say Canada had the greatest of all time penalty kill.
Well,
like,
no.
Like I wouldn't say that. Even if that roles were reversed, I'm not defending Canada or anything. I'm just saying, look, you're playing a round robin. You didn't all play the same teams, so
no. But like they played the Germans.
It was one of the greatest performances.
The greatest.
Of all time. It was a great performance.
The greatest.
Okay, whatever.
Show me another team that won 100% and against the greatest the greatest power play of all time.
Who's the greatest power play of all time?
The Canadians.
That's the greatest power play of all time.
Look at the talent assembled on a single power play.
Okay, but who'd they? I mean, they played different countries.
You got the second coming of Bobby Orr in
Okay.
Cale Makar. You have McKinnon, who's probably a top 15 player of all time. You have McDavid, who's a top 15 player of all time. You have Celebrini, and they didn't allow a power play goal, including a 5-on-3 and 2 other separate power plays.
I recall Hellebuck being positioned and making some saves. I don't remember. I don't remember the defensive players like stealing the puck away or anything like that.
You're hating big time.
No, I remember. Like I said this when we were watching it. This is good because Canada is too cute. They try to get too cute and make a fourth pass all the time instead of just shooting the puck. And that's really the thing.
I thought they shot the
puck. It
puck.
was a great performance.
I thought they shot the puck 40 times.
I think it's a great performance.
I'm not saying that Hellebuck's not part of the kill. He is part of the kill.
I think
That's
without Hellebuck,
kill of all time.
and without Hellebuck, I think they would have given up power play goals.
Well, guess what? They have Hellebuck, so who cares?
That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying it's because of Hellebuck.
But also, they played a game without Hellebuck, and they still didn't give up a power play goal.
Do they even have a power? They haven't any
know.
penalties in that game? I don't even know.
So I'm just saying,
okay.
I'm trying to give these guys props. I'm trying to give Bill Guerin props for bringing in Trocheck and Miller.
I think the gold medal speaks volumes for props for him.
I agree, but I feel like it's not talked about enough that they had 100% penalty kill in a best on best.
Well, Bill Guerin learned a lot from losing. I guess
no,
except he didn't win a Stanley Cup. I believe
he's building a good team in Minnesota.
No, I know. That's why he's lost.
Plus,
he's learned a lot because he's lost a lot.
Plus,
of time
he's had to
in Olympic tournaments.
He's had to deal with the Parise and Suter contracts that they bought out for years, and they're finally off of them, and they're finally building a good team there in Minnesota. Even though
is that where he is?
Yeah. So even though I don't love Minnesota, but it's
funny,
it's simply just the greatest. It's the greatest of all time.
What is
the penalty kill?
Oh, okay, whatever.
But yeah, Binnington. It's an interesting discussion on Binnington because for me, I don't love Binnington because I feel like Canadian fans just like overrate
He's
the hell out of him.
played well in big games.
I know,
mean,
but it's like this guy is garbage. Like,
I
how
don't
is
think
he?
he's garbage.
He
He's won a
is.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, like
Hellebuck hasn't.
yeah, like 6 years ago,
So
7 years.
so
ago.
he still won.
Yeah, but he's like really bad this year.
He's got bad D in front of him too, doesn't he?
He has Parayko in front of him. He had Parayko in front of him in this series.
Maybe they shouldn't have brought him.
To me, it's just like
I don't know what it is with Bennington. I don't think
I really thought don't think did I
anybody
tell
can
this to
figure that
you?
out.
Like I was like, man, he made the save when he saved on Hughes. I'm like, he made the save, man.
Yep.
I'm like, God damn it! Why did he? It's every time
he
did
makes
it
the
against
saves.
Matthews last year in the Four Nations. He makes the stupid ass save.
Honestly, and the goal. I mean, he had no. Yeah. I mean, he makes the save, and he just didn't get the goal support. Bennington played well enough for them to win.
Yeah, I
mean,
I still can't believe it.
That's the beauty of this game. Ultimately, like I said, hockey wins in the end because either team could have won this game. Mm-hmm. Canada largely outplayed USA. If you're Canada, if you're feeling like you let one slip away. If you're US, you're feeling a little bit like you stole it. In overtime, getting it there, fortunate to go to an overtime, which is next goal wins kind of thing. That always gives somebody a shot. In fact, that's what made me nervous when Sweden tied it. When Sweden tied it against USA,
Yeah,
I was like, holy shit, they're in a 3-on-3. Anything can happen here. And fortunately, USA scored because I just thought, oh, you got to be kidding me. Like, this is not how it ends.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, it just was a really, really great game.
and I feel like before we end the show, we got to talk about Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah, that was really cool.
What a moment!
That was
Because we
very
saw
cool.
last year or last summer at the World Championships with Clayton Keller and Tage Thompson. They held Gaudreau's jersey when they won the gold in that. So that was really cool, and they do it again here. And then
I think
they actually go.
Werenski's his teammate too,
Yep.
right? I think he was on that team as
Orensky
well.
was in Columbus with Johnny at one point, I believe, and so
Yep.
they go get his kids, they bring him to the ice, and they take the picture with the kids. Like that was just an awesome moment, and it's such a tragedy that we
Yeah.
lost him, but obviously played a big role in like inspiring the team. Because like they were all saying during the broadcast, like that's a guy who would have been in this tournament, would have been playing.
Yeah.
And not only that, he was a guy who like during every World Championships he was there. Like I think now we'll start seeing the stars show up because they
Yeah.
want to play and continue this rivalry. But like a few years ago, that wasn't always the case. Like not every year all the stars show up and play in the World Championships, but he was there for every single one. Like
Yeah.
he loved the country and stuff like that.
And I gotta say, I think that you hit the nail on the head for what really defined Team USA. I think Canada. I think Canada expected to win, right? Show up and expect to win. I think like US wanted to win. Like if that sounds like Canada didn't, but I think Canada just had the expectation that they would win, and I think I think that's where maybe you sense the disconnect on the lines and the flow is that they didn't really have anything that really united them, and it felt like Gaudreau and playing for him is really what united the team. I think
Well,
a little
it's
bit.
just-
It was a mission for that.
Well, and I just felt like throughout like I was saying, like Cooper just kept throwing out the same line
Yep.
and playing him 25 minutes a night because he had to, and it felt like it just felt like the United States was just cycling their lines and letting everybody play and really get a chance to show what they could do. And like Larkin was so big at moments, had a few big goals. Brock Nelson early on had a few big goals.
And I think a lot of that though too is, let's face it, I mean Canada has the bigger superstars.
Well, yeah.
Right? And so I think sometimes when you're on that team and US was a little bit more balanced throughout the whole unit, throughout the team, because you're just like, oh yeah, could I really how much better is Jack Hughes than Eichel? You know, how much, you know, I mean, you're kind of sitting there, okay, Matthews would probably put him a little bit above everybody, but, you know, he's also getting a little bit older, it seems. I don't know, his style's changing. I don't know how big of a prolific goal scorer he is anymore.
Well, the weird thing about Matthews, though, is it's like, oh, yeah, he sucks at goal scoring now. He's still going to get like 35 goals.
That's
like,
probably true.
Like, he's just like,
it's not 60 yet and whatever. 60. Yeah. No, so he's still a good goal scorer. But I think that's the problem I have with a lot of the American players is like, I don't really know how to stack rank them above because nobody's like leaps and bounds above. You go to Canada and it's like, here's McDavid, McKinnon's under there, Makar gets up there, and then there's a little bit of a, I mean, you got Crosby, but it's like, it feels like theirs is more of like a like that, and it feels like USA is a little bit more level.
I think in terms of skill, the best U.S. player is Quinn Hughes, and I think like Quinn Hughes to me is stride for stride with Makar. Like if somebody argues for Hughes being the best, I get it. If someone argues for Makar, I get it. And then in terms of forwards, like Jack Eichel, to me is the most talented guy on Team USA. But like, yeah, I agree. There's not like there's not a big gap.
But put Eichel on Canada, and how many are ahead of him?
I think McDavid
is Marner. Marner might be close.
They're Eichel, neck and neck. I'd put Eichel above him just because he's the center. But I think it's close.
Yeah. But I mean, you probably have 5 or 6 guys ahead of Eichel on Canada, right? So, yeah. So I mean, I think that kind of played into it.
But it is interesting in this game. It's like for a team like Canada, who has so many individuals who really performed well for them, maybe not as a team totally. Like the individuals it was individual performances that won this game for the United States. Like Hellebuck making 40 saves won the game. Boldy making that insane play, splitting Makar and Taves for the goal was an unbelievable individual play. And then Werenski fighting away that puck and Hughes also tipping the puck down the ice and then scoring the goal. Like those are 2 unbelievable individual plays. And it's like you look on the other side, like Canada had their chances for those individual insane plays.
Yeah.
And like McDavid couldn't bury a breakaway. Brady couldn't bury a breakaway.
It's true. Yet Canada just controlled so much of that game, though. That's just what's so weird.
I don't know because
when it came down to it, the plays when they had the chance to make the play, they didn't make the play,
which is just crazy.
The U.S. made. I mean, there were plays the U.S. didn't make.
I will. It's not that they made.
US they didn't get every bounce. Too. They didn't get every bounce. You know, there should have been goals. There could have been goals.
Pipes.
There could have been goals.
Faber before the end of the second hit 2 pipes.
I think it hit off him and hit 1.
I guess that's true. Yeah, it did hit off Gensel, I think. But still, that's insane.
No, there were definitely a few pucks that came off Binnington and kind of sat there, and a few that went wide. I mean, USA had chances to score
as easily as it could have been 4-1 Canada. Like it could have been,
I think
maybe 3-1 the United States, or at least like it could have been like 3-3 overtime.
It could have been a 2-0 lead instead of 1-0, and Makar ties
it. Like Brock Nelson gets that turnover right in front. Yeah. Like if he buries that 2-0. So
I think it just boils down to the fact that these are 2 really good teams, and both deserve to win, and both of them could have won. I mean, it could have gone either way. Truly could have gone either way. And everybody got their money's worth. For a gold medal game to go to overtime, couldn't ask for more as a hockey fan.
At 6 a.m.
That's exactly what you want. It's exactly what you want.
I agree.
Watching a 3-1 game would have just been like...
This is stupid. I would have gone to
work on time. It would have just been like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
It deserved to keep you on the edge of your seat, and it certainly did.
I agree.
So it delivered in the best way. And if you're not watching hockey, you need to start watching hockey.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that love going to live games, but they hate watching it on television. I don't quite understand that. I think it's the same. Obviously, going to games is always more fun in a lot of ways. I mean, just it's because it's a new experience, right? You get to feel the crowd. You don't necessarily get that at your house, right? But some people love watching just sports on TV, and hockey, especially as it gets into the playoffs. We're heading into an NHL season restart to the seasons on Wednesday, and it's going to be crazy.
I will
And
say
it's like a 28 game rush to the end.
it is gonna like kind of suck.
It's not.
I've seen so many fans are like, now I got to go watch my sucky team play. After I guess if
Well,
watching the Mammoth won't be as bad because they're in the thick of things. But if
your team's not in the playoff race, you're like, ugh,
if you have to like go back and watch like the Rangers, like who are in no man's land, or the Leafs or something, like that's probably like horrible. But like if you're a playoff contending team, that's all right. But I do feel for the guys who are like, if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs and Canada fan, you just saw Canada lose in the gold medal game, then you got to go watch gold medalist Austin Matthews.
Isn't that crazy though?
Your team.
Isn't this crazy though?
What?
The two goalies in this game are the two bottom feeders in their division.
Yep.
Winnipeg and St. Louis.
Free Hellebuck, man.
The two goalies. Yeah. I want to say, just looking at the wild card here, I mean, how likely... I mean, Winnipeg is sitting 11 points out of the wild card. That is a monumental hole.
Yeah, they're not going.
They're not in. I mean, you've basically got San Jose, Nashville, and LA that are still reasonably alive for that final playoff spot. You've got Utah with a 4-point edge right now on the wild card. So they got to keep that thing rolling. And then Buffalo and Boston over on that other side. But it's just, yeah. I mean, it's definitely not going to be as wild. But as we get into the playoffs, the intensity is going to get right back to what we just saw.
And it's all over the place right now.
Yep.
I like even in the West, like Colorado has kind of sputtered a little bit before the break.
A little bit of that was Landeskog's injury, but now Landeskog's back, so
we'll see. It's going to be a fun one, though.
It'll be a fun one.
It's been cinema for the past 2 years, so I'm hoping. But it would be funny if we get another Kings versus Oilers matchup.
Oh God!
Is it round 5 now?
God, so now we're on. Seeing what Connor McDavid can do, and second in the Pacific.
Even the Oilers, they're second in the Pacific, but like if you look at like
they're in jeopardy though.
If you look at like their standings, like they're below 2 wild. Like they would be out of the wild card if they're jumped by the Kings and the Kraken, I think. So I mean, like they are not having as good of a season as we have.
Kraken
seen
are
them.
1 point behind Edmonton right now. Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a fun one coming down the stretch. But yeah, what a gold! I cannot speak. What a gold medal game.
Yep.
I'm gonna think about this for years. Genuinely one of the greatest moments of my sports watching ever. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be seeing you in the next one. Take it easy. Have a good night. Enjoy this game if you're United States citizen. Keep crying if you're a Canadian. You always have 2028. And man, you guys haven't.
I guess they can go cradle 2002 and 2010.
I mean, they haven't won gold in 12 years. Ah, man, that sucks.
I mean, yeah.
You guys aren't even at 10 gold medals, man. Well, maybe next year you get your 10th gold medal. We'll be catching up to you in no time. But yeah,
we're only 7 behind, right? Or not
Easy.
6 behind, right?
Easy. Well, we run.
How many Olympics is that? I mean, 6 Olympics. That's like how many years?
A long 28 years. Wait,
24 years?
28 years.
28 years? Okay.
To get to 7 Olympics.
7 Olympics? Okay, yeah, 28 years.
Yeah, but we own this sport now. It's a United States sport.
For 4 years, it resides in the USA.
I almost just want to cancel the Olympics now. Let's just end on this forever. But obviously, I want to watch that again. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Have a great night.